Hello. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. All right. I am a stand-up comedian, so this is quite early in the morning for me. This is either the earliest show I've ever done or the latest. I'm not quite sure. I am a stand-up comedian. I talk about race a lot in my act. I have a solo show called the Kamau Bell Curve, Ending Racism in About an Hour. Yes. I know you're like, we're here for a conference. I get it done in an hour. Most of that tongue is in my cheek. Where I'm doing it tonight at the Greenhouse Theater. There's cards on the tables. Please, it's on the north side of Chicago. A lot of people here are going. Maybe you buddy up and share a cab. I know it's a long way away, but go see some Chicago. This area, I went to high school here. This is not really Chicago where this hotel is. You should, those of you who are not from here should probably realize this is not, like I expected there to be more. Yeah, this isn't it. This is not it. So the show's on the Greenhouse Theater, and I have a special offer where if you bring a friend of a different race, you get in 2 for 1. Yes. And we actually have at the door, you're like, well, what if I don't have a friend from a different race? Look around you, you're at the Facing Race Conference, make some new friends. What defines a race? Well, we'll talk about that later. Today I'm going to do a brief excerpt from my show where I'll talk about what's going on here. Let's see, where are we? So yes, it's Kamau Bell Curve, Ending Racism in About an Hour, or hopefully not making it worse in 15 minutes. We'll see what we can do. I think we're all clear on this here at the conference that this is a very sort of, that we thought the election of a black president, there was just people who thought that was, as we talked about a lot, the end of racism in America. And what we found out is that Barack Obama has been like a lightning rod for the new racism. I think it's funny, I feel bad for Barack. I really love him and appreciate him. I feel bad for him, all over the country. There's Tea Party members who say, Barack Obama's a leftist militant Muslim. And me and all my friends are like, we wish. That would be awesome, you know what I'm saying? If Barack was like a mixture of Malcolm X and Malcolm X, that would be incredible. Like that would be really, if we had a black president, we're like, slow down, you know what I mean? Like, it's not exactly what we have. I really get frustrated with the discussion of racism in this country because it really starts at such a basic place sometimes where you feel like you can't even, sometimes we're arguing about whether something is racist. We don't even get to the point of talking about how to fix it, you know what I'm saying? Like every few months it seems like another white celebrity, is it too early in the morning to say nigger? I don't know. This is the earliest I've ever said it. Or the latest. It seems like every few months a white celebrity will have like nigger Tourette's where they just start saying it and they can't stop saying it, Like Michael Richards, Mel Gibson, like recently Dr. Laura, a black woman called into her show for advice about her relationship. Black woman, why are you calling Dr. Laura for advice? That's the first problem. Oprah will give you an hour. Terry McMillan's on Twitter. There's other ways to go about this. And Dr. Laura felt the best way to give advice was to say the word nigger 11 times. And then there was a debate in America we always get into where, is that racism? I don't know. We go back and forth on that. And it's just like, how many times do you have to say it in a row before it becomes racism? I think we all just want to know the number, you know what I mean? So when somebody starts saying it, we can start counting. Okay, that's 12, 13, 15, you are. I think I skipped a number. And it's really frustrating because it really gets bogged down in this, is it race? And it's really because I feel like a lot of times white people, and when I say white people, let me be clear, I don't mean you white people. All right? I mean your friends and family. I should have said that much sooner. I just think it's funny that white people, I think a lot of times get caught up in defending the racism of another white person because they're afraid it's like some sort of wheel of fortune that eventually will stop on them. So they don't want, she can't be racist because if you know what I said, it would be even worse. So I just feel bad. I feel like we need to come to some new sort of discussions about that. I feel like, okay, maybe sometimes we can debate whether or not somebody is a racist or has done something racist. But can we at least agree, for example, that Dr. Laura is an asshole? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, an asshole cuts straight through racism, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather deal with a nice racist than an asshole, You can fix racist, but asshole goes to the bone. And despite all the recent racism, especially since Barack was elected, and we've talked, I've been at workshops here this weekend, and there was that issue of like, after we got a black president, that we were in post-racial America. Let's talk about that for a second. Post-racial. Now, I first heard that the night of the election, and I'd never heard that word before, and I thought it was weird because I consider myself kind of a person who works with words. I use them almost every day. And I was like, that's a new word I haven't heard. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the thing that my mom taught me. My mom, who's right there, Janet Cheatham Bell. Give her a round of applause, everybody. She's very shy. I think she's forced postcards into most people's hands so far. But yeah, I'd never heard the word post-racial before, so I went to a dictionary and looked it up, and I found out what it means. Absolutely nothing. It's not a real word. It's not in the dictionary now. They may put it in, but it wasn't in that time. It was something that the media made up because they wanted to create the idea that now we're in a racist America. And the thing is, that's not the first time the media has done that. The media always is creating words that we don't need to describe things that don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like just to fill space. You know, like we have words like, words like soccer mom. What is a soccer mom? A mom who takes her kids from school to after school activities and then takes them home. That's called a mom, as far as I understand. It's like, isn't that just a mom? The other one is called a bad mom. I don't understand why we have to. So soccer mom and ringtone is another word we don't need. If your ringtone isn't vibrate or silent, I don't need to talk to you. Vlog, however you pronounce that. Conversate. And I see some black people. I know black people. I'm sorry. I know. I just let the cat out of the black bag. I know. Conversate, it's not a real word. I know many of us use it from time to time. It's fine. Black people, we're good at reinventing the language. That's one of the things we do. I'm very quite proud of us of that, but we should all, yes, exactly. I'm not denying that. It's just conversate is a word that I hear black people use sometimes when they're trying to sound intelligent, like, Your Honor, we were conversating. Oh no. So that brings us to this, post-racial. And fine. I mean, I know we've talked about this all weekend, but I just, for the record, and this give you some, you can take this with you. If you meet anybody who feels the need to believe that America is in a post-racial America, I can disprove the idea of post-racial America in 2 words. Cleveland Indians. Is that not enough? Atlanta Braves. Washington Redskins. We still name sports teams after races of people in post-racial America. You know what's the worst about these? These 3 teams suck. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't you have to win the championship before you get to be named after a Native American? And thank you, one person. You should have to win like 3, like the Bulls maybe could have been named after post-racial because they won like 6, you know what I mean? But this is ridiculous. And here's the other thing, and I don't think that's even but there's a lot of sports teams named after Native Americans, and look at this. The logos are so offensive. Look at this, a smiling Indian excited about playing baseball. I can't wait to play baseball. Apparently football's more serious. I don't know how that works. And a lot of teams in this country have been named after Native Americans and patterned after Native Americans, had Native American logos, but some changed the names because they got sensitive, and some just sort of switch it up a little bit so you didn't know. Like where I come from now, I live in San Francisco. Out there we have the Golden State Warriors. But in 1971, this was their logo. A smiling Indian excited about playing basketball. You know what sucks about that? That's not even a real stereotype about Native Americans. Like if that was a black guy playing basketball and smiling, black people would be like, well, I guess that is kind of true. Although we're going to burn your city to the ground now, so. Which is, I think, why clearly we're not, as a culture, as America, we're not afraid of Native Americans, so we'll still use their images and somehow call it a tribute, even though we don't ask them if it's okay or give them a kickback in the revenue, which I don't understand. And it's just really frustrating because it's like, and it just shows we don't have respect and we're not afraid of them. Because and I think a lot of that is this, because it's not that there's such a small number. Like there's just, because we wouldn't do that with other, races and cultures. We wouldn't call a team like the Golden State Muslims, you know what I'm saying? Look how quiet it got in here. The Milwaukee Arabs, we wouldn't do that. Does anybody else like me, we have a secret hope that the economy tanks bad enough that Native Americans pool all the casino money together and buy the land back? And ship us all back to wherever the hell we think we came from? all you white people who claim Irish, you're like, but I don't know anybody in Ireland. I don't even speak Irelandish. I just like St. Patty's Day. I just like to be drunk in March. And here's the thing about this, that and the thing about the Arabs and the Muslim thing, I hate the fact that that the Arabs have been sort of demonized recently. I hate the fact, well, first of all, we should say this to be clear. It's actually totally legal to be an Arab or a Muslim for now. We should say that. We don't say that enough. It's actually okay for now, unless you try to build a mosque somewhere where somebody doesn't want you to build it, even though the thing that happened affected you too. Then it's not okay, apparently, New York City. But what I'm saying is that it's so funny. I know that the white people who run everything know there's nothing to be afraid of from Arabs. And I know this because they told me. This is the definition of white according to the US Census. White refers to people having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. It includes people who indicated their race or races as white, or wrote in entries such as Irish, German, Italian, Lebanese, Near Easterner, Arab, or Polish. Yeah. First of all, I love that. Arab or Polish. Arab or Polish. They put the whitest white people there to distract from all that Arab heat right there. Arab or Polish. So you know what that means? Arab equals white. That's a surprise to me. I don't know if it's a surprise to anybody else. I have a lot of Arab friends. They don't talk about, oh, the white privilege of being an Arab. Oh, let me tell you. We have so much white privilege. I don't know how that works. Maybe the white people and everything are like, Arabs have a lot of oil money. Let's let them be white if they want to be. Wouldn't that be nice? I don't know how it works. But you know what that does mean? It means you can think about things in different ways. Like whenever our ex-president George W. Bush was talking about bombing Arab countries, that was white on white crime. And that's a sad thing, white people. Please learn from the black people. That would destroy your communities. So let's talk about that for a second. So we think of Arabs as being from someplace called the Middle East. But then we've learned from the census that Arabs are apparently white. And, but a lot of the Arab countries are actually located on the continent of Asia. And then some of the Arab countries are actually located on the continent of Africa. Somehow Arabs are Middle Eastern, white, Asian, and African. The hell is going on? I'll tell you what's going on. Race isn't real. It's not real. I mean, we believe it's real, and I understand it, but it's not a real scientific thing that you can measure. It's a concept we invented to divide and separate people. You know what I'm saying? So the line changes over time. It's kind of like believing your fantasy football team is actually playing for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's that way all over the world. Like, look at this picture. This is a picture from South Africa. This is Jacob Zuma, the president of South Africa, and it's Hu Jintao, who's the president of China, and they're in South Africa and they're shaking hands because they just decided that from now on in South Africa, Chinese people are going to be reclassified as black. I'll say that again. Many of you act like I gave you a math problem. See, after the fall of apartheid, in the government of South Africa, black people's civil rights are protected. It says black people's civil rights are protected, but it doesn't mention Chinese people specifically. So Chinese people say we need to get protection under the government because there's a lot of Chinese immigrants in South Africa, but they said instead of fighting for our own civil rights, why don't we just get reclassified as black? It's just easier. You save time. You don't have to have protests. You can get back to work. It's just much easier. So from now on in South Africa, Chinese people have been reclassified as black. You don't believe me? Here's the article. In South Africa, Chinese is the new black. That's a real article. That's not The Onion. And look at the picture. In the picture, the president of China is smiling. Yay, we're black now. Yay. Can you imagine if that was America? Chinese people, you woke up tomorrow and found out you were black. You'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, that is. Whereas on the other hand, I feel like if black people, we woke up tomorrow and found out we were Chinese, we'd be like, hey, let's give that a shot for a little while. What do you say, try it for 400 years or so? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be at the Greenhouse Theater tonight. If you enjoyed the show, there's cards on the table. I've been W. Kamau Bell.